I will be doing a quick tank review for the Czech Tier 4 medium tank, the ST-VD39. This vehicle, it is quite good for its TL. It is quite mobile, have a good gun, and the survivability as well if you know what you are doing in the machine when you are top TL. Let's get into the vehicle stats now. Let's begin off with the firepower. You will be using a 47mm gun, which is quite good. Have a high rate of fire, good pan value, aiming time, and damage output per round. It is quite good. It is better than the previous 37mm gun that you were using at TL lower. The rate of fire, once you have a good crew and equipment setup, it is about 28 rounds plus per minute, which is quite good. With the correct equipment setup and perks, you can have a quick aiming time and a loading time of the gun, as shown here. Reload time, it is about 2 seconds, aiming time, it is 1.71 seconds, which is quite good. Turret traverse is good as well, 32. Getting depression downward is amazing for a medium tank at this tier, 10 degrees downward, so you can hill fight with this if you have to, while the gun elevation upward it is 25. The good thing about the gun aiming time and accuracy, you can technically snipe with this if you have to. With the high rate of fire and the damage output per round being okay with the pen value of the gun to pen anything that you shoot at if you know what to shoot at it with, you can do a lot of damage with this gun. The 47mm doing about 1.7 thousand K damage in a match potentially. Now, the survivability of the vehicle at this tier, it is not that great nor bad. Hit points, you have 350 hit points. That is a decent amount, so you can take a few hits before you are killed. The armor in the front, it is okay actually. It can be penned easily enough by most tanks that you will be going up against, but if you angle the front armor around enough, you can ricochet a few rounds. Besides that, everything can penetrate you. Whole armor in the front, it is 32. Whole side, it is 25. Rear 20. Turret, it is 60 in the front, 40 side, 30 rear. This machine have a lot of weak spots that you can penetrate easily enough to damage the crew members and modules in the process. Lower plate, the driver's portillo, machine gun nest in the hull and in the turret, cupola, this little hole here, and the side here. The mobility of the vehicle, it is quite good, for weighing about 17 tons. With the top engine of 260 horsepower, you will have about 15 horsepower to 1 ton. That means you can easily reach the 45-kilometer mark when it comes to the top speed when you are on flat terrain, going in a straight line or going downhill. Reverse speed is good as well, at 18. The hot reverse is good as well, 35. It is slightly better than the turret traverse at 32. So this machine can turn around quickly enough if it have to. Now, the concealment rating for the vehicle, it is good. It is 18 when it is staying still, about 14 when you are moving. So, if you have camouflage paint, the camouflage perk, the camouflage net, you can technically be a good passive scout or even medium to a short distance sniper easily enough to shoot at the enemy tank if you are going to be staying off of their radar with the camouflage rating here. The vehicle view range, it is good. It is about 350 meters with the equipment setup that I have here. Signal range, it is about 370. The radio could be better at this tier, but it is average, on par. Now, I will be covering the research part of the tank now. The research for the tank, it's a easy tank to go through as you will just have to research the top turret and gun just to move on to the next vehicle. Besides that, a lot of the stuff here, it is optional for you. So let's begin off with the tracks. To mount all of the equipment onto the tank here without going over the vehicle weight limit, you will have to use the second pair of tracks here. You will have a better holdover from the first pair to the second. 28 up to 33, which is quite nice. Engines. You have 3 to use. It is up to you if you want to use the second or third engine, as they are usable on this tank only. The first engine here, the 225 horsepower engine, you will be a mobile enough medium tanker still with this engine. Watch out for the engine fire though, as you have the same chance for all of the engines here, 20%. If you want to have a slightly better horsepower to ton ratio, get the second or third engine here and then use them. So you will be a bit more of a mobile medium tank. Radio, you have 2 to use. The second one here, which is the best, the VZ37, you would have had this unlocked already as it was usable on the previous tank already, so use that right away. Turrets, you have 2 to use. You will have to research the second turret anyways to move on to the Skoda T24. From the first turret to the second turret, all of these stats are for the better. You have better turret armor, traverse speed, view range, more hit points, and better gun handling stats as well, which is quite nice. Now, the guns. All of them are roughly the same, except they get gradually better from the A9, A11, and then to the top A11 47mm gun. The stats, they get better over time when you are going up in the experience pool in the tank here to unlock the guns. The rate of fire, the pen value, the accuracy, and the aim time get better from the A9 up to the top A11 gun. You will be using the first gun here until you get sufficient amount of experience to move on to the A11 gun here. Then use the A11 gun here until you get the required experience for the top turret and the top gun here. This top A11 gun will allow you to penetrate most tanks easily enough with the amazing, on average, 86mm of pen, with a very good APCR pen, which you can pen most tier 5 and 6 vehicles easily enough if you know where to aim the gun at. The top A11 have amazing stats as well, once you have a good crew and a proper equipment setup. The Skoda T24 review, that will be coming out soon once I have the vehicle unlocked and fully researched. Now, I will be covering the consumables, the ammunition layout, the equipment setup, and how are you going to be using this tank. Let's begin off with the consumables. Consumables, you may or may not want to use them at this tier. I would go with a first aid kit, repair kit, and the manual fire extinguisher. If you want to increase the vehicle performance by a bit, go with the large repair kit or the large first aid kit just for their permanent effect alone when you are not using them. They will increase the repair speed and reduce the crew member injuries by a bit, which is nice. This vehicle carries a good amount of ammo, 60 rounds. With the 60 rounds of ammo, you will never run out of ammo in most matches. Due to the high rate of fire that this gun does have, you may run out of ammo in a match, so be careful about that. The majority of the ammo you will be using it is AP and APCR. AP can pen most tanks easily enough if you know where to shoot at it with, especially when you are flanking a vehicle side or rear. APCR, I would only save this for the heavily armored vehicles you will be encountering from tier 4 up to tier 6. Primarily the heavily armored mediums, heavies, and TDs. The APCR, it is relatively on the low end when it comes to price. 4 gold or 1,600 credits. HG, it is a useful ammo type still to use against thinly armored targets when you are top tier or to destroy debris in front of you. The equipment that I went with is the enhanced gunning drive to decrease what is already a good aiming time, vents to increase the tank and the crew performance by a bit, the medium caliber tank gun rammer to decrease what is already a good loading time. The other pieces of equipment that you can use is to increase your view range. You can go with either the coated optics or the binocular telescope for your personal preference. If you are going to be a long distance to medium distance sniper or being a very good passive scout in this vehicle, you can use the camouflage net here. Besides that, the rest of the equipment here, it is not that useful at all. Except for the toolbox here. The toolbox, it is useful as it increases your repair speed by a bit. By 25%. That is quite nice. Now, let's cover how are you going to be using this tank as a tier 4 vehicle. You will be getting yourself into a tier 4 match up to tier 6 maximum. When you are top tier, you can do quite well in this vehicle if you play toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses while knowing what is going on. When you are in a tier 5 and 6 match, you can do quite well still, as long as you play cautiously enough while playing toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses still. Now, what are the roles that this tank is good at? It is a good front line medium tank. So you can play quite aggressively in this vehicle when you are top tier and know what you are doing on the map when you are top tier. This is a good flanking vehicle, a good support vehicle, a good passive scout if you have the proper equipment set up for it. It can be a good long distance to medium distance sniper if you have the equipment set up for it. The vehicle, when it comes to active scouting, it is not that great, but the vehicle, it is mobile enough for that role if you have to scout for your team at times. Besides that, this vehicle, it is a jack of all trades type of medium tank. It is not great at one role exactly, but not that bad at all of them either. So you can switch in between roles if you have to in a match in a hurry, if you know the roles well enough. Now, I have one replay to show you how well you can do in the tank kill. Let's go to that replay now. This replay, I will show you how well you can do in the STVZ39 when you are playing toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses. Let me speed this replay up a bit. Looking at the map, I am heading to the right side of the map here to support my team push. This match, I did make a few mistakes, which I will point them out when they come. Let's speed this up a bit more. The M2 medium here, I could have had fully aimed in on those shots, and most likely it would have had penetrated the vehicle armor. So those rounds did not go through. With the allies in the zero line there, I am going to begin supporting their push forward. In the area of the map I am in, the Chihi, I am trying to fire blindly in the area there to see if I can shoot at it or not. A vehicle is shooting me somewhere. Don't know where the Valentine is. So I move upwards to use the terrain here to protect myself from potential damage by the Valentine. This T2 light, with the good aiming time and loading time, you can actually lead your shot easily enough in this vehicle. This T127 here, I am using the rate of fire here to finish the vehicle off. The T15 finished the vehicle off. I finished the M2 medium off. Here I am using my superior rate of fire to reduce the AMX 38 hit points down to 0 with the assistance of my team. Right now, the team is doing quite well, 8-5, so we are winning. The Valentine here, I am trying to lead my shot where the Valentine is going to be. At this range, as long as you can fully aim in on all of your shots, you can hit most targets easily enough at this range. Now I am down to about half of my ammunition that I begin off with, and I'm only 3 minutes into the match. So when it comes to a situation like this, when you use your superior rate of fire on the enemy vehicle, you can easily run out of ammo if you do not pay attention to your ammo count that you have left. The Valentine 2 there is a target that I have to deal with, the T80 and the PZB2. I focus my energy on the Valentine 2 as it could easily finish the teammates off, so we could potentially lose this match, I switch to a PCR to make sure I can pen the Valentine too. Now I am down to a one-shot to most vehicles. So far I am doing quite well, 3 kills for myself. This B2, I am using the terrain heal to heal fight when I have to. I am trying to lead my shots to areas where I can pen the B2 easily enough. The first round hit the vehicle, the second one only damaged a track, left side of the track. If I did fire the second and third round into the B2 there and not die, I could have had easily finished that B2 off. This match, it was a win for my team. I did quite well in this match. I did about 3 kills, which landed me about 1050 damage, which is quite nice. So I did about effectively 3 times the vehicle hit points. Now, let's go to the garage now to do a brief recap on the vehicle itself. Let's do a brief recap on the tank itself. When it comes to the stats, it is above par when I compare it to the other medium that is here. It is quite mobile, have a good spotting concealment value. You can take a few hits before you are killed, while the firepower alone, it is quite good. Once you have a good crew and the proper equipment set up, so you can finish off enemies when it comes to medium to short distances quickly enough if you have to, assuming you can penetrate the enemy vehicle. Besides that, this vehicle, it is a jack of all trades type of medium, so you can fill many roles in a match if you have to. As long as you play toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in this tank. I hope that you learn a thing or two about the tank and how to use it properly. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and even follow my channel as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.